I'm Vicars Hodge, and I'm a member of LARC, Lambton Anglican Refugee Committee, and we're getting ready to sponsor our next refugee family. Hannah and Alan Nissan and their 12 are refugees from Iraq. They're Syriac Christians who were forced out of their homes, driven out at gunpoint by ISIL in 2014. They come from Karakosh in Nineveh province. One of the things that moves me to be involved in refugee ministry is to remember that Jesus and the Holy Family fled to Egypt when the baby Jesus was an infant in arms because of the violence of King Herod. Our world is full of people fleeing from violence, and this family are among them. Caring for refugees is very much central to the gospel, and those of us who are learning how to follow Jesus want to be involved in this. So I'm joined this morning by Jean Thamer, who's the chair of LARC, and Jean is going to give us more information. Jean, tell me now, at the beginning here, what's the timeline like? When will we see this family?
Thanks, Vicars. This is a large project and it's probably going to take us a good year, but we've got lots of work being done, getting the documentation going, but before we can make the actual application, we need to raise enough money. We need something in the order of $75,000. Now, we've got about $28,000 already committed, so we're still about $47,000 needed before we can actually make the application. That's a large sum, but our people have been generous, and if we look back in 2017, I think the amount that they raised was something like $69,000 altogether. Let me add one other thing. This project we really believe is the Lord's leading, and so we trust Him that it's going to go over and above and beyond. That's what the way the Lord does things. So that's what I'm trusting. We can do it. We did it before. We can do it again.
So, Jean, the goal is $47,000. What's the timeline? When do we need to have those funds in hand by?
We'd really like to have the funds in as soon as possible. The end of July would be a real stretch. We'd really like to have it before that, but as soon as possible is it. As soon as we've got the documents done, then we need the cash and we can make our application. We'll trust personal generosity just like we have before. You can donate through your local church. The Anglican churches will take your money and they will pass it on. If you mark it for the Refugee Committee, and they will also issue you the amount for your tax receipt at the end of the year. You can contact Vicars Hodge if you have any questions beyond this. You can go to vhodge@trinitysarnia.org, or you can phone at 519-466-6870.
Beyond financial generosity, what other needs do we have to settle this refugee family?
Sponsoring a refugee family is always a major project. Whether there's just a couple of two, or a couple with children, or now in this case where we've got an extended family of 12, this is going to be enormous. We need your help. We need you as volunteers as well as financial donors. Volunteers needed to help prepare the home when they're ready to come. Volunteers to help them enter into Canada and to provide a welcome situation for them. And then people to help them find all the different government agencies that they need documentations for. Driver's license, health cover cards, etc., etc. Children signed up for school. There's just all kinds of details that they will need help with. We need drivers to take this family around. There's 12 of them. Probably at least 2 vans to move the family from here to there. Probably living in Corunna, and they need to drive to the YMCA facility in Sarnia for English language training and other training. So we need volunteers. That's why we're asking you and pleading with you to consider and ask the Lord how He would have you take part in this project. If you have a few hours a week, that would be great. We can give you roles that will fit you. You can choose from these number of different things that you might be interested in. And Sue Brower, one of our members, is going to be heading up the organization of the volunteers. You can reach her at mama@brower.ca. That's MAMA at Brower, BROUWER.ca. And her phone number is 519-869-4775. We do need you as a volunteer. Please join us.
So, Gene, I'm excited about helping Hannah and Lamb settle in Canada. I'd be interested to know what makes you get out of bed in the morning on this project. What is it that keeps your blood coursing through your veins and excited about refugee ministry?
This refugee ministry really fits into the scriptures. Somebody once said, it's Jesus hands-on. Matthew 25, Jesus says, feed the hungry, welcome strangers, care for the sick, visit prisoners. Those are the ones that He's going to identify as His servants when we reach glory. This refugee work really is the hands-on of Jesus' ministry. Do you want to be a part of it? Let us know. We'd like you to be a part of it. Please do.